first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Green Bay Packers and the Los Angeles Chargers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Detroit!
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Skirts by him at the 35. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So a tough early challenge here, 2nd and long after the sack. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Detroit!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Pace. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Allen. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. And he comes back with one complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Detroit!
On play action, Allen. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And they'll go on the ground. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Allen. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Throwing is Allen on third. And he fires one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on second down. Pace. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Pace over the middle, complete. That's McLaughlin. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
From the gun, Pace. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break the tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. Third and a yard. Operating from the gun. Pace. Flushed out right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Complete. It's Henry. Oh, in the spin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now Gordon on first down. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Pace. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Off play action. Pace. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Chargers are able to strike for 6. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Detroit! Detroit!
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Being chased out left. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From midfield, here's Allen. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way, work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
They run it here with Gordon. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? when the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Looking to throw on second down. Pace, and this is going to be incomplete. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. The Chargers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's his carry for Melvin Gordon. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Aldrick Rosas for the field goal attempt. This a 33-yard attempt. And Rosas puts this one through. And that will make our score 9-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Caught out left side by Robinson. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On first down, Allen. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Forced out to his left, and he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And Gano's kick is right through. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
On 1st and 10, Pace. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Josh Hawkins with a pick. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. So after the INT, it's Allen. Flushed, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as...
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come. Graham Gano on for the extra point. Extra point try good by Gano. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Back to throw. Pace looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brooks. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Back to the ground now with Gordon. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun. Pace. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, Pace. Steps away to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. Then on the ground they go with the running back. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on. And remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up, and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember. That appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ohio! Ohio! 91 is the mic! Ohio! Ohio!
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Kenny Clark coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. The Chargers on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game.
Ohio,
this is third and 16.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's going to look and got his man complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That goes for a gain of 31. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it first and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Flex round! Flex round!
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down. 2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now?
Flex round! Flex round!
From the gun, Barber. Escaping the pressure right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now a handoff working right. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now they try the right side here. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And they're running right through it. And a great return up past the 40, but this one may not stand. First down. Barber. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones at a first down.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
Throwing on first down. Barber. He's going to let it fly. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing again. Barber. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. To throw on 3rd down. Barber. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's complete. Henry. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
Looking to throw. Barber going underneath for Gordon. Give him 3 on the play, and it's a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Henry's got it out on the left side. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Back to throw. Barber throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now he'll tuck it and run. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Ohio! Ohio!
They go play action here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Off the play fake. Barber. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, They said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Looking to throw. Barber. Throw left side complete. That's Brooks. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. In for the score. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. They're going to give it to Gordon. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers. But here, they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So for the Packers, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Superstars out. Brand new cars. We buy the ball now. Swing doors now. Now smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about post now on the ground. Man, the leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Pockets lettuce. Don't think I'm ready. You got that swag. You got that salt, then sell it. Free mind. Cash them out, we bailin'. Saw my teacher, I was the same student felon. Now I got a lawyer, straight cash, no settlement. I'm out my element, out my element. My the same, don't need no clout, no fame. No clout, bought the game, all brand new chain. I swerve the lane, call the group the gang. Whip that thing, whip it, this shit give me.